Hello children, so in today's session we are going to see the types of molecular orbitals. So in previous class we have seen the introduction of a molecular orbital theory and their conditions for conditions we have seen and postulates we have seen, and now we are going to see types of molecular orbitals. So molecular orbitals are of two types we already discussed, that is bonding and anti-bonding. Yes, so what are the two types of molecular orbitals formed? First one is bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding molecular orbital. So two types of bonds formed they are, so if they are bonding molecular orbital, if two types of bonds are formed and they are, this is first point, this is second one. Second one is two types of bonds. What are the two types of bond? Sigma bond and pi bond. Sigma bond is formed and pi bond is formed. So here I said bonding molecular orbital, anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, this is for bonding molecular orbitals. So this is for bonding molecular orbital. If we see for anti-bonding, they are represented with sigma star and pi star. So whenever we see the star mark, they belongs to anti-bonding molecular orbital. And we already know that wave function, representation of wave function, so psi b, okay, atom, okay, psi b, when bonding has taken place, then psi A plus psi B. So atom A and atom B will be combined together to form a large molecule. If it is for anti-bonding, AB means anti-bonding, B means bonding, then subtraction will be taken place. Subtraction between two atoms will be taken place. And here one small trick you have to follow. By this you can easily draw the energy diagrams. Okay, energies for bonding and anti-bonding orbitals, that is atomic numbers 1 to 7 we have to follow one rule, and from 8 and above we have to follow one rule. So what is that rule means? So these are the molecules, see, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen. So here the small trick what you have to follow is the arrangement of orbital, that is 2 1 2 1. This is a simple trick. I will explain you later. This is 2 1 2 1. So in this way the molecular orbitals in energy diagram is going to be formed. And for oxygen, fluorine and neon we have to follow the rule is 1 2 2 1. Understood children? For lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen 2 1 2 1 rule, and for oxygen, fluorine and neon 1 2 2 1 rule. Okay, and here in 2 1 2 1 rule, in bonding orbitals XYZ will be filled first, and in anti-bonding same XYZ only will be filled first. When comes to these molecules, first for bonding in means p axis, p orbitals, first z orbital will be filled, next y, next z, z, x, y will be filled first, and in anti-bonding x, y, z. So this is the sequence. Okay, this is the sequence. So when I draw the diagram, then you can understand. So look at here. The atomic numbers from 1 to 7 we have to follow one rule, and 8 and above we have to follow another rule. So here 1 to 7 only, no, below 1 to 7. So lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen we have to follow one rule, that is the arrangement of molecular orbital, that is 2 1 2 1. And in bonding orbitals and anti-bonding orbitals will be formed, isn't it? So in bonding orbitals XYZ, which orbital it will be present? In p orbital. So in bonding first X, Y, Z will be filled, and in anti-bonding also same X, Y, Z only will be filled, same sequence. If we see these molecules in the formation of O2, F2, N2, we have to follow 1, 2, 2, 1 rule. And in bonding orbitals, first Z orbital will be filled, later X and Y will be followed. In anti-bonding, first X orbital will be filled, next Y, next Z. So here one example I am going to take is, okay, before knowing the table means example, some important terms what we have to learn is stability of a molecule. So next point is stability of molecules. So when we are getting the stability of molecules, if number of bonding orbitals are greater than number of anti-bonding orbitals, then that molecules are stable. If number of bonding orbitals are more than number of anti-bonding orbitals, then that molecule is stable. If number of bonding orbitals are equal to number of anti-bonding, or if number of anti-bonding orbitals are greater than number of bonding orbitals, then the molecule is unstable. So remember this. Okay, stability of a molecule, if number of bonding orbitals are greater than number of anti-bonding, then the molecule will be stable. If both are equal or otherwise number of anti-bonding are more than the number of bonding, then the molecule will be unstable. And next term is bond order. Bond order. So here bond order is nothing but the bond order is defined as one half of the difference between number of electrons present in bonding and in anti-bonding orbitals. That means bond order equal to 1 by 2 number of bonding, okay, the electrons present in bonding orbital minus number of electrons present in anti-bonding orbitals. So this is the formula you have to remember. So bond order equal to half into Nb minus Na. So if the bond order is positive, a positive bond order means a stable molecule will be formed, while a negative bond order means an unstable molecule will be formed. Understood, children? If it is positive, they are stable. If it is negative, they are unstable. The next one is bond length. What do you mean by bond length? The bond order between two atoms is taken as an approximate measure of the bond length. As the bond order increases, the bond length also increases. If bond order is increased, means bond length also increases. So that means they are directly proportional. And next comes to magnetic behavior. Magnetic behavior. So if all the molecular orbitals in a molecule are occupied by 2 electrons each, then the substance is said to be diamagnetic. That means when they are having 2 electrons, each orbital is having 2 electrons. Okay, 2 electrons are present in each orbital, then they are diamagnetic. That means they will not attracted by the magnetic field. If one or more molecular orbitals are singly occupied, if one electron is present in any orbital, in molecular orbital, then it is said to be paramagnetic. That means they show the sum of the magnetic properties and they can be pulled or attracted by the magnetic field. So magnetic behavior, how you can decide a molecule is a magnetic or a non-magnetic means if each of the orbital, so we are going to draw the orbital, if each of the orbital having 2 electrons each, then it is diamagnetic. If each of the orbital, if any orbital is filled, half filled, that means it is having single unpaired electron, then that molecule is said to be paramagnetic. That means it shows some magnetic properties and it can be influenced by magnetic field. So here by knowing the examples, you can easily draw the molecular orbital diagrams. So first examples. First I am going to take bonding in some homonuclear diatomic molecules. That is first one H2. Okay, H2 means hydrogen molecule. We already discussed this one, hydrogen molecule. So how hydrogen molecule is formed? It is formed by the combination of two hydrogen atoms. So each hydrogen atom has only one electron, that is in 1s orbital. So therefore in all the three two electrons, okay, therefore in all there are two electrons in hydrogen molecule which present in sigma 1s molecular orbital, isn't it? Sigma 1s molecular orbital. So the electronic configuration of hydrogen molecule will be electronic configuration of one molecule will be sigma 1s2, sigma 1s2. So why? Because only one electron is present in each of the atoms. So hydrogen molecule, two electrons are present, isn't it? So already we have drawn the diagram in before class. So look at this diagram. This is for hydrogen, okay. This is hydrogen 1, this is hydrogen 2. So one of the electron from first atom, first hydrogen, and next electron from another atom. So here these two electrons were combined in sigma orbital only, isn't it? Sigma orbital, that too in bonding. Okay, bonding orbital is formed, and here sigma means the orbital. Sigma star means it is anti-bonding, this is bonding orbital. So that is the diagram for H2 molecule. If you want to find the bond order, so how you will find? Bond order of H2 molecule can be calculated as Nb minus Na by 2. So how many electrons are present in bonding orbital, children? So look at here, in bonding orbital how many electrons are present? 2. In anti-bonding no electrons are present. So 2 minus 0 by 2, that equal to 1. This means that two hydrogen atoms are bonded together by a single covalent bond. Single. So if bond order is 1 means it is a single bond. If bond order is 2, it is a double bond. If bond order is 3, that means triple bond will be formed. Understood? And next, so we are going to see for helium. Okay, helium molecule. So here the electronic configuration for helium atom. Helium is 1s2. That means each helium atom contains 2 electrons. So therefore in H2 molecule how many electrons will be present? He2. In He2 molecule there would be 4 electrons will be present, isn't it? So in one helium 2 electrons are present. If 2 heliums means 4 electrons are present. So these electrons will be accommodated in sigma 1s and sigma star 1s molecular orbitals, leading to electronic configuration He2 is, so these 4 electrons we have to arrange sigma 1s2 and sigma star 1s2. So 2 plus 2 how many electrons? 4 electrons are formed. So if you see the molecular diagram here, this is first orbital. So look at here, children. So in helium how many electrons are present here? So look at here, we have to draw the diagram like this. This is 1s orbital, this is also 1s orbital. Why? Because one helium atom contains 1s orbital here and another helium atom contains another 1s orbital here. And here bonding means sigma 1s orbital, and in anti-bonding sigma star 1s orbital. So in one orbital how many electrons are present? 2 electrons are present. Here how many electrons are present? 2. So molecule means these two combine to form a molecule. 2 atoms combine to form a 2 molecules. So how many electrons are present? 4. So according to the principles we have learned, Aufbau, Pauli's exclusion and Hund's rule. So what we have to do? We have to fill first here 2 electrons are filled here and 2 electrons will be present here. So total 4. So how many? What I said? Number of molecular orbitals formed should be equal to the number of atomic orbitals combined. So here number of atomic orbitals are 2, and that too 2 electrons are present in each. And here these are the molecular orbital. This one is bonding molecular orbital, this one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. So they were distributed with 4 electrons. So here 4 electrons, here to here 2. Bonding in 2 electrons, anti-bonding 2 electrons. So if you want to find the bond order, what is the formula? Nb minus Na by 2. Isn't it? So in Nb means number of bonding electrons. Bonding orbitals, how many electrons are present? How many electrons? 2 are present. So in anti-bonding, how many electrons are present? 2. So 2 minus 2 by 2. So what you will get? 0. That means helium molecule is therefore unstable and it does not exist. Understood, children? Similarly, it can be shown in beryllium molecule also. It is also having sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. Also does not exist. So next molecule what we are seeing are important. It is a repeated question. Nitrogen molecule. Formation of a nitrogen molecule. So one atom of nitrogen contains 7 electrons. If nitrogen molecule means it contains 14 electrons. If we see the electronic configuration of a nitrogen molecule, so bonding, anti-bonding, everything we have to show. Means in sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, okay. Next sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. So how many electrons completed? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 2s are 8 electrons completed. Isn't it? Sigma star 2s2. Next comes to pi, okay, p orbital, pi 2px 2, and next pi 2py 2. Next comes to sigma star 2pz, okay, 2pz 2. So this is how you have to arrange the electrons in bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So here 2, 2, 2, 2, 4 2s are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 electrons we have to represent in this type of electronic